Hi, welcome to So You Think You Can Fanon, the only podcast where we bring you the best of the worst or some of the best and just give it to you on a nice silver platter. I'm Penny or Equinox Doodles, and I'm here with Sergio, otherwise known as Rox the Hunter on Twitters, and my good friend Jake as well. Sergio is also a good friend. I forgot to mention that, but don't think that I'm playing favorites because I love
No,
both
fuck
of you
you,
guys.
Sergio. I'm
Oh,
the good one.
I hope you're not playing favorites for the guy you've never actually met. Wait, no, you have met him in person, but you've
yeah, I
known me
did
for
meet him in
longer.
person. That is true. We also had a falling out, but we made it up, and now we're friends.
Yeah, you went to school with me, so
Yeah, that's true.
I
That's
went to
true.
school with you.
No, he didn't go to school with me.
That's
high
true.
school.
Yeah, coward.
Cool.
But he goes by High Def Hotcakes or Anus Hotcakes, depending on who's not family friendly and who is trying to be family friendly. And Jake, you have picked a wonderful fan fiction to read to us today.
I didn't tell you guys what it is, and you
No, you
won't
did
find
not.
out until the very end.
Uh-oh.
I will give you the title. Now
Okay.
that is all. The title is Flight. It's by Blue Shadows 199.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a Twitter. Let's see. They have a Tumblr.
That's something.
That is something.
So,
There's also on AO3. I don't know what AO3 is.
AO3.
Let's look that up.
Archive of Our Own.
That's I think that's a foreign place.
Well, I don't know.
Well, Archive of Our Own is basically it's another fan fiction hosting site.
Oh.
They're really lax on their rules. So if you're looking for something like dirty that like some place won't host, people usually post on Archive of Our Own.
Gotcha. It's like the 4chan dumping grounds of fan fiction.
Yeah, there's some there's some pretty comprehensive stuff on here. I found some dark side Phil fan fiction on Archive of Our Own.
Neat. I found Rick X Morty fan fiction on Wattpad, so I don't know. It was very cursed. I can say that much because it was very cursed. And I think I wanted to bleach my eyes out during the entire time I was glancing it over. So, Jake, is it what kind of fan fiction is Flight about? Is it like
It's K plus drama suspense. There's 2,600 words.
Okay.
It was published on March 5th, 2014. And it was updated February 24th. I don't know if of this year or...
It just says February 24th. Oh, excuse me. I am sleepy.
Alrighty. I will be reading this all by myself because I don't want you guys to peek in what it is.
Okay. I will not peek, even though I just tried to look up what it was.
I will not peek, I promise.
So I'm very excited.
What if I don't get a good score? You'll be fine. Now hold still. Your hair is a mess. How do you know? Well, your father is a 20 and I got an 18. I think you can do a bit better than us. Stop worrying so much, Jem. This is your coming of age ceremony. Enjoy it. What's so fun about taking a test that determines your fate? Though society had crumbled many years ago, lost to the point of no return, tribes had been able to regain order. Each tribe had different cultures and specialties and laws, but each had to follow the sacred code of tribe placement. It is said that a child who has come of age must be given the test. Their score on this test would determine their whole life thereon, including their job, rank, and mate. The higher the score, the better the life.
What fucking Ayn Rand shit is this?
I don't see how any of this is enjoyable, Jem rumbled, her small body swaying as her mom
What's
yanked
the
a brush
character's
to her
name?
greasy... Jem.
Okay.
Gem.
As in like the holograms? No, I think that's a J actually.
It is Gem and the holograms with the J.
Okay.
Her small body swaying as Mom yanked a brush through her greasy matted hair. A head suddenly poked into their tent. It was Shane. Hey, good luck on your test today, Jemmy, he grinned, winking. Get a good score like me, then we could be mates. Shane was a handsome young man with blonde hair and light eyes. His muscles were large and skin tanned from the sun.
Ooh.
Up until his coming-of-age ceremony 2 years ago, had lived with his family in the tent next to Jem's. Every day he would stroll over to her tent and flirt with her. Most girls Jem's age, and some of the boys, would take this opportunity with both arms outstretched. After all, Shane was one of the most attractive and intelligent boys of their age group. Jem hated his guts. I remember when I got my score of 26, he boasted. I was shooting for the chief score of 50, obviously, but not all of us can be as amazing as he can. You got that right, Jem's mother nodded. Chief Aaron is our leader for a reason. Aaron. That's a good chief name.
I don't know if I would have, like... Aaron seems like... I mean, Aaron's a we stand Aaron. There was, Sergio, you remember Aaron from our band class?
Yeah, Aaron, I don't want to say his last name. But yeah,
Aaron Redacted.
He played the saxophone.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was a king, a legend, and he was the most well-dressed man at our school.
Yes, he was.
I like if that Aaron is this Aaron, I think I'd follow him. But if it's not, Aaron is not a very threatening name.
That's true. If I was chief, I would make it so we didn't have to take a stupid test to determine who we become, Jem thought bitterly. She stood suddenly, squirming free of her mother's grasp. I should go. Wouldn't be late for my own ceremony. Both parties nodded respectfully, and Shane scooted over so she could get by. He whispered, Good luck, my little Jem, as she passed it, flashing her a wink. Trying to ignore her agitating tribe mate, Jem looked out at the sea of people bustling around like ants on a plate of pastries. It felt odd, knowing them were all working to get ready for her ceremony. Of course, it was that way with every kid who came out of age. It was a celebration that they had lived long enough to make it to this stage of their life. Shouldering through the crowd, trying to respond to every good luck gem she heard and failing miserably, the girl made her way to the center of the tribe. There stood the only real building in their territory, a small one-room shack made out of old wood. In there, Jem would have to sit for a full hour trying to achieve the best score on this test possible to determine her life in the tribe. Good afternoon, Miss Jem. The chief himself was standing at the entrance of the shack. Oh, good afternoon, sir, Jem mumbled, suddenly aware that everyone stopped their activities to stare at her. Are you ready? She nodded cautiously. Chief Aaron opened the door and gestured for her to step inside. She tried not to sneeze as dust particles floated around the thick, hot air inside. He closed the door behind them, and the room became dark, all except for a little natural light seeped in the cracks of the walls. Reaching into his robe, Chief Aaron pulled out a small rectangular object that Jem had never seen before. This is the device you will use to complete your test. I assume you've already been taught the basics of the test. Yes, they teach us all about it in our lessons, sir. He smiled. Very good. His fingers flew across the screen of the rectangle, and suddenly it emitted a bright light that caught Jem off guard. The test will begin once I exit the room. You will have 1 hour to complete the test as well as possible. Once time is up, your rank will be determined by the highest score you achieve, understand? Yes, sir. Jem took the device from Chief Aaron's hand and watched as he drifted over to the door, opening it to reveal the light outside. How she wished she could be out there instead of here. Don't worry, Miss Jem. Aaron's smile was the last thing she saw before he closed the door. You'll get the rank you deserve. The scores of Flappy Bird do not lie. That's the end.
Was this wait, the fucking test was Flappy Bird?
It was a Flappy Bird fan fiction.
Are you kidding me?
So this was about a society where your place was chosen by your Flappy Bird score?
Flappy Bird score, yeah.
Well, it was well written. I have to say, it had me going. I was thinking like, oh, is this some kind of like dystopian Steven Universe fan fiction or something?
Oh, I don't think that they would just name their gems aren't really named Gem.
Well, it's Gem the Gem. I don't know. I've never seen Steven Universe.
I think that'd be a pretty clever pun. Honestly, I feel like that's something they would do.
I'm still under the impression that Steven is in fact a universe. That's why he's called Steven Universe. I would like to point out that is a joke.
Did you like it?
I did like it actually.
I'm gonna be honest. The first few like paragraphs, I was like, oh, this is a My Little Pony fan fiction. Like no one named Blue Shadow would like make a fan fiction like outside of My Little Pony. And then fucking was it Shane came in? I'm like, oh, okay, so this isn't a My Little Pony fan fiction. This has to be some other kind of fandom. And I just never could connect the dots. I was like, oh, this is like a Giver fan fiction. I've never pictured something like that, but I mean, I guess. And then Flappy Bird. I don't. It's a very elaborate setup just to execute with a Flappy Bird joke. Like your whole life depends on playing Flappy Bird. I'd get
I was never very good at Flappy Bird, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I think
I
highest I got was like a 15.
they'd have to game on me, so
Yeah,
Wow.
I'd be one of the tribal slaves. They'd be like, yeah, you got a 6. Get to the fucking coal mine.
back to your dorm. He takes out a whip, and every time like he like cracks it, it makes like the Flappy Bird like point noise. So it's just like whoosh, bing.
It's here, I'll post it so you can like look at it in more detail. But it was funny. I saw it and I was like, I gotta do this.
You saw it. And
there are 3 chapters, but the other 2 chapters are really boring. And I think this one is like perfect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say boring, just that came out wrong. Like they're not boring, but I think this chapter on its own is the perfect just like it's super serious.
The joke if you continue on with it.
Yeah, it's like super serious. And it's like, oh, I wonder what the test is. It's so scary, and then it's just like
Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird.
Like I don't know. It's funny, you know.
Yeah, I just want to know what. Oh. I just the Gem was we found out what Gem's score was. I read into chapter 3, but I think like it's like a joke that just goes on too. It's like a friends joke, you know?
Yeah.
It like not like a joke between friends. I mean like a joke from the sitcom Friends. Like it just goes on for way too long and it's just not funny for anyone involved.
Yeah.
It's just sad. But I thoroughly enjoyed the setup. I think the execution was pretty good too.
Yeah, it's well written.
Yeah. Honestly, if it was like I'm like just reviewing, let's just say it's chapter 1, I'd honestly rate that. I think it kept up a good amount of suspense and tension. I'd give it like an 8.
I'd give it an 8.5.
Yeah, I could see 8.5. It's just, but like the other chapters kind of ruined it. So I think I'm gonna settle with an 8. So
maybe if chapter 4 comes out and it like blows my fucking pants off,
yeah,
I'd give it a 9 overall. But like right now, just chapter 1, like 8.5.
Okay. And Sergio?
I'd also say an 8.5.
Okay. So I mean that's pretty good. That's a pretty good rating.
It doesn't go too long, you know? Like it doesn't drag on. It's not just like it's not word dumping, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the characters, like the way they talk to each other, pretty realistic. I'm not gonna say it's like masterpiece, like
right.
Wow, that's crazy. but it's it's believable.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting to go into a dystopian future where the only like end of like the way that you settle out your life is by playing Flappy Bird. I mean, like, could you?
If Flappy Bird wasn't removed from the App Store, this would be the real world.
This would be the real world. Even with all of our simple games, like those Facebook ad games where they are clearly doing something wrong. Like, there are so many Facebook ads that are just like for an app, and the entire point is to just make you angry because they're just completely screwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't want. I think I'm glad that Flappy Bird is gone.
If you get less than 10, you are legally dead. That's the plot. It's those advertisements. Just
yeah.
if
It's
you
like
complete the 5th level, you are legally chief.
You are legally chief. If you get score 100, you are legally chief. The Chad Chief Aaron. The virgin gem. I feel like this shouldn't have continued, and honestly, I think I would have liked to see more dystopian futures with different apps.
like Endgame having Fortnite, but like the entire movie's based around Fortnite.
Yeah, or like it's a military scenario. And the way that they determine angles is by playing Angry Bird. Like that's your way of getting into the military is you have to play Angry Bird and get all 3 stars. Could you imagine that sort of scenario though?
That'd be great.
I think so too, yeah. It was a nice short fan fiction though. It didn't drag on. It just kind of felt right, you know? Like,
yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. But we could honestly fit a lot more in here. Like we got so much time to kill. But you know,
I did go. I went back to the first year of our of the panel, and I looked at the fan fictions that I had prepared, and I found one that I've never actually read. And if you guys have enough time, I'd like to. Well,
we
share
have
with the class.
plenty. We have plenty. But Jake, are you willing to let Sergio share something on your day?
Of course.
Wow, that's such a good friendship. Go ahead, Sergio.
Beautiful.
Knock it out of the park.
Okay. So I think you can't see like the other one. I feel like you'd be spoiled to what this fan fiction is going to be about. So let me grab my microphone here. So this fan fiction is described by its author, the man who hates nature, as Tebest Avar.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's called Topaz Space Vampire Monkeys from Space.
Wait, Topaz
Space
fights vampire monkeys?
No, Topaz Space Vampires Topaz Space Vampire Monkeys from Space.
Oh,
of course.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and we are about to begin this fanfiction. You probably have no idea what kind of fanfiction this is, right?
No,
besides a masterpiece, from what I can tell.
It's probably, yeah. I could see with that.
All right. We shall begin. I arrived, as it is written. I arrived in Nevada City. It's in New Zealand. There's no A in New Zealand. That are in mid-earth. I see a horse with guy on top. Hi, I said. He said hi back. I'm Topaz, Mark, Zeus, Susie, Diet, Mayonnaise, Elizabeth, Katie, Stanton, Swan. I yelled.
Diet Mayonnaise?
I is Aragorn, son of Dude and a whore.
Lord of the Rings?
His name is Girugamesh, he said.
Yeah, it's
I am call you Acorn, I said. I don't get him. He all blue and shit with that big head. But I is Aragorn, son of some dude and a whore. No, Acorn, I said all serious like. He spelled serious like Sirius Black. And Acorn shut up because I is awesome. Acorn did a pouty face. I has to go to some elf city to seen hobbits, he said. KK, I said. We went there in 5 minutes. He ran on horse. I run on feet at what is this number? 1,000 million billion trillion quad 3 pentillion 800 million 120,000 3 mils per hour. That's the speed of light. The elves on Mid-Earth said hi to us and gived us food. Acorn eated all the spinach and pound cake. 10 hobbits come. Everybody has meaten and shit. There was dwarf and shit and unicorns and furies and Bob Dylan.
Oh, Bob Dylan.
Soon, it is all night. Where is you? Said Lego ass. He's baby elf. I blend in with the sky because I so dark and I is all sneaky like. I ate an hobbit. He tasked like beef. Then it's morning, like morning, like I'm mourning a dead body. And I got to Lego ass and big head man, aka Acorn. I said, Acorn, you head is too big. He said, no, it is not. Then Lego ass said, guys, don't be frightened. Don't be fightin'. Make love, not war. WAWR. Then he say some other shit. I did no pay attention. Then us and the hobbits all go to an rock. They call it Mont Everest or something. We goes then some wizard dude got all eaten and shit. He name was Dumbledore, I think. Then Lego ass seen demon. He name Satan. And we is all fightin' and shit. Acorn big head lost life. He have 5 left. 5 left now. Noah. Then we goes to te froest of less. That is the tree people tear and they said hi. The tree people name aunts. Don't know why they's named that, but it's all cool. Then we rode aunts to Mordor with Acorn on horse. He got Bidger. Some dude named Saucer be all like. Then we and Lego ass and Acorn all kill him. Lego ass lost 4 lift, and Acorn only has 1 lift. I then kill Acorn with a laser beam from my eyes. I find key. I and Lego ass go next level.
Is that the end?
Is that it?
I accidentally read chapter 2, so I guess that is technically the end, being that I read chapter 2, which there's only 2 chapters.
Oh, I didn't read it. Okay. 1, that was the most pain I've ever felt in one, like, sitting. And that's saying a lot, because my fan fictions were pretty bad.
I think that might have been worse than the Backyardigans one.
But not as bad as the
but
Bling
believe me, you have not seen chapter 1, which is worse.
Are we doing
because I don't know if you picked up on it, but this is a Twilight fanfiction.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Wait, what?
If you remember from the very beginning, the main character whose name is Topaz, her last name is Swan, like Bella Swan. It's more apparent if I had read the first chapter, but the second chapter just turned into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
But I think you'd be interested in chapter 1 because it involves Sora clones and Godzilla.
Why does she have
what I think is Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII.
Why does she have Dio Brando's vampire laser eyes?
Because she's half vampire? Because she's the kid of Edward and Bella?
Sure.
I don't know about you, but I think Twilight would be so much cooler if he just fucking did Dio laser eyes. You know, half quarter circle motion. I think that's the command input.
For Shadow Dio, I think so. For Dio, I don't think so.
Okay. I just know laser eyes coming out of Dio is something Dio can do.
All right. I am posting for you guys the link.
Am I gonna
To
regret clicking
Topaz
this
Space
link?
Vampire Monkeys from Space. I don't know how I didn't find this. I don't know who found this. It had to be someone who worked on the panel. But I remember this being given to me, but I was not the one who found this original.
Oh, I like how much worse it gets as you go on.
Yeah. It's it existence is pain.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Like the first
that fanfiction hurt my fucking jaw. Like my jaw is like sore from reading that.
Yeah,
it's because you were
I
speaking a fucking crime and your body was punishing you for it.
Yeah, I mean it was a paid to read because I had to like slow down to make sure that I like read it as written.
right. I don't know, Chief.
This is a troll fic. I have to believe that it is. It is too poorly written to be something that someone made without you know
I think it's great that the first few paragraphs are like decently written.
Is it?
look
And then
on the link as you watch
Yeah.
the war between Satan and the
Oh my
Sora
God.
clones and Godzilla.
And then it
Neo
goes
Crystal Russo Nacho New Baltimore.
But this is not our story. And then it just cuts into the worst thing.
Yeah. Starts with ooh. And then it, oh my God, her name literally is Topaz Mark Zeus Sussy Diet Mayonnaise Elizabeth Katie Satin Swan.
Dude, I really
Swan.
wish that
Oh
her
my God.
twin sister Shaniqua Jose Strawberry Daiquiri Pluto Girl Pablita Swan like popped. Oh, it's because she died, of course. Oh, and what about her twin Astro Boy? I really
Wait,
wish
what?
Astro Boy showed up.
I has bright red eyes, the color of blood, because Evil God is my father and Britney Spears is my mom.
Britney Spears is a singer with brown hair and purple eyes, like Grimjaw from that show Bleach. I sniff Sharpies and get special visions. George, my other long lost cousin, is 1,108 years old, and he was a Nazi in World War I. I'm a mermaid, but with legs, and could attack people with supersonic waves.
I had rabbits, rabies, priest, little children, monk keys, ibexes, John
Also, guys, in an
Gene
attempt to look up
Simmons.
this fanfiction to see
From Kiss.
lion cats, shit zoos, spelling totally incorrectly, SpongeBob's and Hot Pockets.
Sorry, what were you saying, Serge?
So I was saying, in an attempt to look up this fanfic to see if it's been passed around, where I found a subreddit called WhatTheFanFic, which is basically kind of what we do, and they post horrible fanfictions. I just posted it in the fanfic links. They've got some interesting ones on here.
Bowser turns Mario into a girl, kinky sex ensues. I'm concerned.
Oh
I'm
no.
concerned about the post where it reads, not only does a piss kink fanfic of the Beatles exist, but there's a good bit of it. Most of these are on archive of their own.
Interesting.
I'm joining that. Let's take that, baby. Official song of What the Fanfic is Hagrid on Coke. And
I found a link to
reader,
a My Immortal clone, but it's with B movie characters. It's an intentionally written troll fic.
oh,
I hope it's intentionally written.
a Star Wars story, The Adventure of Gary Stew.
I wonder how they feel about the sequel trilogy.
I can read it. It's very, very quick. We might as well
Sure.
just.
I mean,
make
yeah,
this
we have
a
the time.
read. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Star Wars story, The Adventure of Gary Stew.
This is a story about a self-insert Mary Sue character and how I would use him in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This is a joke story and is meant as a parody of the Mary Sue archetype, done in a Star Wars fashion with a male protagonist. Hope you enjoy and don't take it seriously. This story is by Elias Neo.
Oh, I found
Okay.
it.
Yeah. This story takes place just after Luke has torn the roof off of Rey's hut. Before refusing to tell her about his troubled past with his nephew, Ben Solo. Oh, the semicolons. Rey has attacked Luke from behind when he wasn't looking with her staff, her aim striking true as she clobbered the old man over the back of the head. Luke tried to defend himself and was quickly able to get the upper hand. However, Rey drew her lightsaber, causing Luke to stagger back. This is where Gary Stu jumped in. Gary was Luke Skywalker's sole surviving apprentice who had been hiding with Luke. Gary was so clever and sneaky, though, that Luke Skywalker was even unaware of his presence on the planet. As Rey drew the lightsaber back, Gary Stu jumped from where he had been watching the scene unfold. "No!" he screamed out as he drew his own lightsaber and cut off Rey's right hand. Rey shouted in pain as Gary Stu reared his hand forward and used his great power in the Force to send Rey barreling off of the cliff. Already a good start. Luke looked up to Gary with gratitude in his eyes. "It's not over," he said as he pointed to the cliff Rey had fallen from. Gary was shocked to see Rey pull herself up with one hand. Clearly, this Rey was just as, if not more awesome than Gary himself. Rey drew her lightsaber to her and charged at Gary, and the two began an epic battle that raged until the morning. As the sunlight hit Rey's face, she smiled at Gary. "Me being a scavenger who survived on her own for most of her life, I find myself attracted to those with strength, and I find you impressive. Most impressive."
That was a surprisingly good Daisy Ridley impression.
That
Thank you.
That blew me away.
All I had to do was just be British.
I mean, the real Daisy Ridley was the friends we made along the way.
Can you say, I'm Ray William Johnson in your Daisy Ridley voice?
Yeah, sure. "I'm Rey William Johnson.
Rey Star Wars.
I'm Rey Shadow Legends."
This movie is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
It's not over, though.
Use code KILLPALPATINE for 10,000 free gems and a free epic champion.
Gary was shocked by her words, but in truth, he felt the same way. Rey leaned in and kissed Gary with a passion Gary had never experienced. The two embraced each other as the sun rose, a group of porgs watching the two from the rock face. Luke Skywalker came around the rock face and saw the two, a look of shock crossing his face as he saw Gary and Rey together. "I didn't teach her that." The end.
I'd like you to look in fanfic links.
I do not want to read that. I do not.
Yeah.
Okay, I just really want to quickly bring up, I know I read a fanfiction, but I want to go back real quick to Topaz Space, Vampire Monkeys from Space. Because she said that she can go the speed of light with her feet and with a horse with acorn. And I had to make sure.
I understand what that sentence means. I really hate that I understand exactly what that sentence means.
And I had to well, frankly, I had to take a look and make sure that she wasn't going as fast as our main man Jesus. So I looked up the definition of gazillion, and I figured out that it's an undeterminable number, but it's very large. So I think it's safe to say that Jesus is still faster than Topaz Space Vampire Monkeys from Space.
Thank God. I was really nervous.
Yeah, I know. Also, I can't seem to take a look at this fanfiction that you've shared with me.
Yeah? The Spider-Man one?
Oh, I had to press proceed.
Oh, yeah. It's as bad as it sounds.
Oh, yeah, this is really bad.
Like, not as in, like, inappropriate. It's just, like, not good.
Yeah? I mean, there's emoticons.
Why is it an OWO speak?
Oh, it's not called OWO speak. It's called Inquish.
English,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't like that. I also don't like that this fan fiction refers to Doctor Strange as Steven. I know that's his.
Steven?
I know that that is his name, but could you imagine if like Tony Stark walked into Avengers Tower and said, "What's up, Steven?"
What's up, Steve? High fives him.
Yeah.
It's like, well, obviously he's Steve Rogers, but could you imagine if he was Steven Rogers? It just doesn't sound right.
Imagine if you like all the Avengers were on a first name basis 24/7. So it's like, what's up, Antonio? What's up, Steven? What's up, other Steven? What's up, Robert Bruce?
I hate that, like, anytime I hear the word, like, if I only called Doctor Strange Stephen Strange, but only refer to him as a Steven, I would have probably
Well,
just
see,
thought that it was a
Stephen
fanfic.
Strange is fine. Just Stephen is where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Steven's second movie being directed by Sam Raimi?
Yeah, I did hear that.
It's gonna be
Exciting.
epic.
Super epic.
I hope Tobert appears in the movie.
Tobert?
Tobert Maguire.
Tobert Jaguar?
Yeah, Tobert Jaguar.
So are we actually going to read Spider-Man 2 more from home, or are we just gonna
No.
talk about the
I didn't
No.
want to even say the
No.
name. I'm upset that you even spoke the name.
I can censor it. I'll censor it.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
too late now. The deed's been done.
All right. I'm so sorry for anyone that goes in reading that fan fiction only to see that it's being entirely read in English. I believe that's what it is English, is what the Uwu speak is.
Ooh, woo.
I know there was an extension for Google Chrome for a while that just automatically translated everything to be in English. So like every R was replaced with W's, and it was really weird, but like I kind of unironically liked it for a bit. But it's something I probably would be into. Just running up to somebody and saying, "Hey, check out this fan fiction," and it's just an abomination of mankind.
If they're not abominations, what's the point?
Exactly.
I say, as we've read actually good things on this podcast.
Yeah, like, well, not so much Sergio's amazing find, but
I mean, if you're not looking for abominations, how are you going to find the good stuff?
yeah.
Like, I clicked on Flappy Bird under browse, and I was like, there's no way anything's good in it. I was proven wrong.
Yeah. Like I'm specifically looking for the bad stuff, but maybe I should change up my approach and start looking for, like, purposely looking for good stuff and then end up finding bad stuff.
And
that's
the
like-
other way around.
And the other way around. I think either way works perfectly fine.
Dude, freaking Archive of Our Own is a trip. I'm scrolling down the Tom Holland Spider-Man movie fanfiction of the mature, and I found one where Peter Parker accidentally goes to the Netflix Witcher universe, and he's trying to like mediate between the gay relationship between Dandelion and Geralt.
Okay.
Oh,
That's weird, but I mean, that's so weird. I want to find more stuff on fanfiction.net, but I think I might have to start looking at Wattpad, honestly. Because Wattpad, you just get trashed because it's just like a bunch of like young people trying to be cool.
yeah.
Whereas like fanfiction.net, like if you post something bad and it's not supposed to be on purpose, you're gonna get bullied. Like, I mean, the legend Sonic High School. Like, that had to be a troll fic.
I don't think so, because maybe the author seems to have written it in like middle school.
Right. I guess that kind of does lean into it being more
I mean,
of
they could have been lying, but the way I don't know, the author's notes were sounded made it sound like it was a I don't know, it wasn't a troll fic.
I see. I get you. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the fact that, like, I don't know. It just seems like a little weird for me, I guess.
Also, I'd like to find. I'm gonna make a creator shout out to a blog I just found out of nowhere. I found they're still posting. They made something April 15th. They're called Library of the Damned. It looks like it's a couple, and they read bad fan fiction and give their critique from it in a text-based format.
Oh, neat.
Neat.
I'm glad that like I was when we were starting the fan fiction, I had to look on like iTunes and
I'll
stuff
post
to
the
make
link
sure
to it.
that we weren't just like copying another person's stuff in like a podcast form. But then like I found a podcast that specifically reads bad sexual fan fiction
Uh-huh.
And we
and
do
like
everything.
also just bad fan fiction in general, but it's like they actually like try and critique it.
Mm-hmm.
But like we're just kind of like we just kind of giggle about it and then we just discuss things.
You know what I've never
Yeah.
watched? I never got around to watching the Internet Historian's little animation that he made of Sonic High School.
Oh, I need to get around to seeing that too. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've been mostly kind of the only thing I think I've seen from him is was it Empress Teresa, and the Sonichu one that he did.
Yeah. I watched. I mean, I kind of tuned out during the Empress Teresa thing.
Right.
But I think I might need to watch that again because that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm good. I'm into bad Amazon books.
I mean, we did find a pretty bad Amazon book.
Yes, which we need to get on the show at some point.
I know. Well, we will definitely get it on the show at some point.
I mean, we can't just set it up in the very first episode and then just not pay it off.
Yeah, it has to be a payoff that's like good and right. Like I feel like I mean we just knocked out like 3 fan fictions right here, but I feel like that one like deserves like a Fanon size episode where we have to like sit down and read a lot of it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
What's up?
Oh,
Dark Doom Firemaster wrote a sequel to Sonic High School.
What?
In 2019. Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, a Sonic the High School story.
what?
Oh my god.
Author's note, wow, did you think I was gone? I'm not. I hope you enjoy this story.
Okay, that's something we need to come back to.
We gotta read it.
We gotta come back to that.
That's amazing.
I
That's
don't
a
think anyone's covered it.
legendary.
I found it on a post on Reddit, but I don't think anybody has covered this.
Oh man. Yeah, that's definitely something we should definitely come back to do. That's Sonic High School is such a good fan fiction. It's such a huge joke for around us in general.
Yeah, I put it in Google and no one's talked about it.
Oh my god. Man, part of me just wants to like cut out a lot of this episode and just like make this as like the next episode after the Sonic High School one and just have that be episode 6 so we can just say that we have it.
We can do it our next episode if is it your turn, Michael, next?
It is my turn, I think.
Well, if you want to do Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, a Sonic High School story, we could
I'm totally down for that. So next episode then. Next episode, Sonic High School 2. If you haven't read it, Sonic High School or haven't heard of it, you got a week to catch up because this is going to be a freaking beast of a fan fiction.
Because as much as I'd like to read Sonic High School, I think we said that a rule that we the big like fan fictions we're not gonna cover here.
Yeah, but I feel like it's too hard not to pass up. Like this is something that like we need to talk about because Sonic High School is like that was the first fan fiction we did a live read of. Me, Sergio, you and I did.
Yes.
And it was also the end all like spotlight at the end of of our panel at UMACon. Yeah. Like we have to talk about it.
A few of my friends want to join in the podcast for the sole purpose of reading Sonic High School.
That's true.
That is pretty fair.
I'm thinking we should do a Sonic High School highlight episode. It's we'll call it the sex scene gauntlet.
The sex scene gauntlet?
We'll find all the sex scenes and we'll like gauntlet through all of them.
That sounds pretty good.
It's like one of those like Pornhub compilation vids, but it's just like
I think you mean a compilation?
Yeah, a compilation of all of the all of the juicy cut out all the story. Just
Right. I get you.
What we come here for.
I get you. I would be down to do that. I think that we definitely need to read Sonic, the sequel to Sonic High School. Give it a nice, proper fan-sized episode. Give it all the love and respect it deserves, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because I know we made the rule that we're not gonna. I thought we were just not gonna rate the big fan fictions. I thought we were gonna talk about them, but I don't think we were gonna rate them because
I thought you said you didn't want to read them on here, but
I didn't want to like. I think that this is like a special case. Like I don't want to read like the entirety of it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's like one of those things. It's like when you're like. I guess it's like when you're reviewing like a video game. Like you show some of it, but you don't show all of it. Like you get the best bits out, and then like just kind of like a tease to make people go read the actual thing and come back, so you can all have a funny haha at. Unless people want us to do a live read, I don't care. I think big fan fictions deserve like the same kind of quality that fanons have, where it's like it's too big for us to cover all in like one episode. So what we'll do is we'll just touch on like it could be like a book club thing where like we all like the next episode we come back after reading it and just talk about it, share our favorite moments, etc. Or we do a more kind of like clip show where like we record us reading it, and then I just edit to the best bits, so that way there's still content for people to come and like read the other like full fan fiction. Well, it's definitely something we need to figure out. Because
we can work on it.
Yeah, because I think Sonic High School 2 is kind of a big deal. Like you can't just give us Sonic.
This is the end game to the Infinity War. The Sonic High School.
We're in the end game now. So, yeah, I guess now would actually be a good time to just wrap up the episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure
what are
that
we gonna call this episode?
I usually theme it out, probably, because I mean our last one was kind of a big blowout because it was all about the fanon of Dragon Ball, and if you haven't seen that, you should totally listen to that because that's a good one. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. It's Equinox Doodles or Roxas the Hunter or High Def Hotcakes, or you could also go to SYTYCFanon, I believe is the Twitter handle. Make sure that you are subscribed to whatever listening platform you're on if you enjoyed the show. And if you're feeling like you need to know what our ratings are for certain fan fictions, or if we haven't touched on a fan fiction before, let us know. And then you can also go to our website, jlgexp.wixsite.com/podcasts/SYTYCFanon. And that's where you can find our all of our ratings for fan fiction that we have read. So thank you all so much for listening, and we will see you all next week.